Hey guys, what is up? TheNeoCubest here. Welcome to my survival mega base compound. So this is a really cool base you can build in survival. It's got a farm, it's got a mine here with a crane, which is optional, but it's not too hard to build, but it's got a nice little mine here which you can use. It's got an animal pen right here, a nice farm design, and it's got a really cool roof. The farm back here is a pretty cool design. We've got a bunch of crops in the back of the house, got a little hay storage here, and then a little outside chest storage, a nice path, and as you can see, some cool flowers and stuff. Hopping inside the actual house build here, we have 2 beds for 2 players, although you could convert it to a 1-player house if you wanted to, just by adding 1 bed. Got a nice farm access chest out here, and we actually have 3 floors on this build, so it's a pretty big build, honestly. The first floor looks like this, and then we come down another floor. We have a full enchantment table. We have got a little bit of a brewing growery there, and then some brewing stands, and then down here we have a giant chest storage room. So if you guys want to see how to build this entire thing block by block, step by step, literally everything you see here I will show you how to build by hand. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so to build the actual house in your mega base survival compound, you're going to need to find the materials found on my hotbar below. Pretty simple, not too complicated. You're also going to need these for the rest of the build as well. So, but we're going to start off by placing 3 oak logs just up on a pillar like that, and then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to place another one, and then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then place another one at the back. So it's a little bit wider than it is long, or a little bit wider than it is in length, but it's still pretty cool house. So we're gonna go inside 1 block, and we're gonna be repeating that on the back of the house as well. Then we're gonna go up 1, over, up another 1, and then in the middle we're just going to add 2 blocks on top. So we're going to repeat that same pattern on the back here and end up with a pretty cool roof shape. So or pretty cool like frame shape, I guess. Now the actual roof is pretty simple, so we're going to be placing some right side up stairs on the top of that 3rd block, and then we're going to go in the middle here and then just go upside down with them, and then we're going to bring them up just like this, another upside down one, and then just 3 facing right side up like this. Now you may want to angle these in the middle just like that. So how you do that is you just sort of place it like from the side, and it'll sort of like taper it out, I guess. So repeat the exact same thing on the back of the base. The back of the roof is going to be the same as the front. And what's cool about this roof is there's not really a roof. This is just kind of like the frame of the house, which is really interesting. So what I mean is the actual frame of the house is going to be just these 3 blocks right here, just like that. And then we're going to go up 1 just like that, and then we're going to go up another diagonal just like that. So this is technically, like, I guess would be considered the roof. However, it still looks pretty cool. So I knew I was messing something up. So you actually want to connect these logs just right here, and then you want to add some cobblestone in the middle, 1 block up. So you should only be going up 2 diagonal in total. So this should sort of line up with your logs here, and then you just want to go 1 down like this, and then you should end up with just the perfect roof shape just like that. So it's pretty simple, it's not too hard to do, and I think it looks absolutely stunning. So we're going to be putting some oak trapdoors on top of all of these raw logs that are facing out, I guess. I'm not really sure what you'd coin that as, but you want to just do some logs like that, and then we're going to be taking some slabs and we're going to put them right there and there, and then we're also going to be putting them right here and in those spots that I just placed them, so just on top of the first 2 blocks in there, and you should end up with something pretty cool. We're going to be putting some fence on either side over here. Now on this side, I will warn you, this is where the farm is going to be sticking out, as well as where the animal pen and stuff, so you may not be able to fit that perfectly in there, but that's okay. Okay, now in the middle, up on top of the roof, I chose to put some fence right there. I just thought it added a little bit of texture and it looked nice. On the roof right here, you want to bring down these cobblestone blocks and then put a stair block, and you're going to want to do the exact same thing over here as well with the stair, although I already know what it's going to be in the future, and it's actually going to be a right side up stair, and then or a normal stair, and then an upside down one, so you may just want to do that on the back, and that's going to be the side with the farm. So we're going to go over to the front here. Now it's pretty simple. I just chose to put logs across here just for our window area. Now keep in mind, I'm using gray stained panes. However, you can use really whatever color you want. Normal ones will look just fine, and yes, I know they're connecting in the middle, and normally I'm OCD about that kind of stuff, but it actually turns out to look pretty cool in this build, which is nice. So we're going to repeat the same thing over here with the windows. Honestly, the hardest part of the build is placing these windows, because the rest of it's pretty simple with all the pens and stuff. I know it seems a little bit complicated, but it's really not. I'm going to choose this side right here to be our door entryway, and I'm just going to break out those blocks, put some upside down stairs, and then we're just going to grab some normal doors, just whatever kind of doors really you want to add, and we probably won't need any more of that gray stained glass. Actually, I know we won't need any more of that. And then in the front, we're just going to be using some slabs made of oak, and we're just going to sort of top it off just like that, and then put some fence and call it a day. I think actually I used stairs right here, and I think that makes it look a little bit better, although you may not want to do that. It just makes it a little bit easier to sort of navigate around in. So on this side right here, this is where I chose to use normal glass. It's honestly very optional. As you can see, like I just put 2 stairs right here, and then I put like just a little leaf right there and a leaf right there, and then I broke these 2 blocks, and then so it's sort of it's a different window, right? Normally they're just one like square, but I thought that looked unique and sort of awesome. And this build is definitely unique. This is not the end of the video. This is just like the actual house. I'll get to designing the inside of that in a moment. I think for now we should design the rest of it. So I'm going to come back here and we're going to start on the farm, and then we'll add the animal pen, the mine, the crane, and then finally over here the hay storage. So let's do that now. So on the back of the house right here, we're going to be adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks of fence just like that. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then at the end there, we're just going to cap it off with a log like this, and then a little slab on top just to sort of have a corner going. And then we're just going to connect it over there in the middle. So we're going to take a fence gate here. There's going to be a couple of ways you can get in and out of your actual farm. So I'm going to choose to put a fence gate right here, a fence gate right here, and then there's actually going to be a door here, so we should have built that in, but the door is going to be just right here. And I know it makes the glass seem a little bit weird, but at the same time you don't have to have the glass there, but if you don't like it, you can change it, of course. I encourage that in all of my builds. And then on the back, as you can see, you can maybe see it right here, when I said there's an upside down fence, there's actually going to be a little bit of a chest on top, which is I think it makes it look cool. Personally, that's just me though. So we're gonna put the chest right here, then we're gonna take some trap doors and just sort of line it like this, and close them all up, and should be looking good. And then I chose, and this is just an aesthetic thing, I chose to put an item frame right here, and then I put a hoe inside of it just so that we can sort of tell that that's like the farming chest or whatever. As far as where to put water source blocks, I put one right here, and then I put them under the corners, and that seemed to be enough for the farm. Although if you don't want to put them there, you can obviously find another spot. But I thought that those places were pretty clever because you can't really see anything, and it honestly works. So let's just go ahead and till this entire farm. Now in my farm, I did like one of every block, right? Or one of every farm item. Although I know that's a little like convoluted. Maybe you just want to grow one thing, but that's how I chose to do mine. So let me grab all those seeds real quick. So I chose, and it actually works out kind of cool, right? So we're going to be putting wheat on the edges right here. And then going 1 block in, I'm just going to do beetroot right here. And then I'm going to do carrots, and then potatoes. So we actually have like 1 of everything and then 2 of wheat, so that's a pretty good ratio if you like to think so. And then we can also put a fence gate right there. It really doesn't matter, just a way to get in and out makes things a lot easier. As far as lighting goes for the farm back here, you can just sort of throw torches haphazardly wherever. Oh, not right there though, that's not a good spot. And then maybe right there and there, and you should be pretty much covered on lighting, and then a few torches right there, and you should be set. Now I've been trying to decide, and let me know in the comments right now, please. Do you think the trapdoor looks good there or not? I can't really tell. From an angle, I think it looks good since we have other trapdoors in the builds, but let me know in the comments right now if you think that you like that. And if also you're in the comments, if you wouldn't mind leaving me a like as well, that would really help the video out if you're enjoying it so far. But pause the video here and do those things if you'd like. If not, that's okay. I'm not going to force you to do anything, but pause it here. All right, let's get started with the actual mine. So there's going to be a mine right here, and it's a little bit weird, right? So we're going to count 1, 2 blocks, and then we're going to break out these 3 right here. So that I did not explain that very well. So with your fence here, if you just want to count 1, 2, 3 blocks, and then that should be the corner, and then you want to dig out this 3x3 area. Now I use this more as like an actual mine. If you just wanted to make it aesthetic, you don't have to dig it down super deep, but I'm going to go ahead and just off camera dig this down to be somewhat deep. All right, looks good to me. And then I chose this side right here just to put the ladder down. Now, what I did in here is I added a little bit of fence to sort of make it look like an actual mine shaft, and I left the bottom sort of messed up. Although if you're actually mining, it'll go down to bedrock or whatever. But if you're building this in creative or something and you want to just sort of make it look fancy, one thing I did was just sort of randomly place fence. I didn't really have any rhyme or reason or pattern to it. I just sort of randomly placed fence in the shaft, and I thought it looked pretty good personally. Mine shafts that have fence in them, they just tend to look like they're like old and ruined or something, but I don't know. I thought it was a pretty cool idea. You don't have to do it, of course, but I thought it was somewhat interesting. And then I put trap doors right here, just like this, and then I actually put some trapdoors just lining the entire thing. That way if you fall in, it's not like the end of the world. I'm going to leave this open because we're actually going to have a crane installed right here, which is pretty cool. Now the crane is obviously aesthetic. You can't do anything with the crane, but it looks pretty cool. So if you guys want to learn how to build that, stick around and I'm going to show you how to build that as well. And keep in mind, guys, that the house is not done. We haven't actually designed the inside of the house, so there's a lot to be done in here. There's going to be an enchantment table, chest storage, all that fancy stuff. But let's go ahead and just get this crane out of the way since it is an aesthetic thing. That's hard to say. I don't know why. Alright, so these are all the blocks you need for the crane. The only real hard thing to get is quartz slabs, and then I use gray stained glass, but you can use normal one, and then maybe redstone torch. But I think the hardest thing is nether brick fence. So if you don't have access to that, you can just use spruce fence or normal fence. It'll look just fine. So counting in the middle, we're just going to go 1 block away. We're just going to build up 1, 2, 3 of these blocks, or actually just 2 like this. Is it 2 or 3? Okay, after further inspection, it is 3 blocks, just like that. And then we're going to take our fence, and we're just going to go over 1, and then we're going to go up 1, and then we're going to go over 1 again, and then we're just going to have 2 little slabs like this, and this is going to be where our actual like dolly comes off of, and it's just going to hang down like this. And then all I did was just put a cauldron here and then fill it with water. And I don't know, it makes it look somewhat like a crane, like it's digging up like a bucket of gravel or whatever. But the cool part of the crane is off to the side here. I just built 2 blocks like this, and then I just filled these in with panes like this, and just built a little control box or something, topped it off with some slabs, and then in the corner here put another slab and then a torch. And I don't know, I thought that looked pretty cool. It looks like somewhat of a crane, and maybe you don't want to add it to your world, and that's perfectly understandable. But on the back of it here, I added some ladders just to sort of make it look like it's somewhat operational, so you could like come up here, hop in the control box, and sort of mess around with it. But I don't know, sort of a fun thing to do in a build. So let's build the actual useful stuff now, the hay storage, which is kind of useful, and then we'll actually build the animal pen. It's going to be right around here. So let me grab those materials real quick, and I'll come right back. And I lied, because right here we're gonna replace these with stairs. It makes it look a little bit better just from the underside. It makes it look like it's more connected. But yeah, let me grab those materials for the animal pen now. Alright, so the animal pen can be built really wherever you want. I'm going to start building it right here. In the other build, it was right here, but it was in kind of an awkward place, so I think right here is going to be a better area. Don't mind me, let me just break a few grass blocks just so we have enough room. Okay, so we're going to start off by placing one of these. We're going to build it up 2 high. We're going to count 1, 2, and then we're going to place another one. Then we're going to count 1, 2, place another one, and then 1, 2, and then we're just going to place another one like that. So that gives us 3 animal pens to choose whatever you want to put inside of them. Again, I'm going to modify the terrain a little bit here just so that we can fit it. And this build is a little bit big, so you may have to do a tiny bit of terraforming, but it's not a huge deal. I'm going to count back 1, 2, 3 blocks, and then we're going to place another log in the same place as the other ones in the front. And that should end up with something pretty cool. On the sides here, we're just going to go ahead and start by adding fence. You want to leave the front open for now, because that's how we're going to get our animals in and out of the pens. But yeah, on the sides here, you want to make sure that they're 2 high. And then over here, we're just going to do 2 high fence, 2 high fence, 2 high fence, and then we're going to do a fence gate on all of them. Now, you can do whatever you want for the actual inside. You could put cobblestone or whatever. It's really not going to matter. In the middle, you want to also have them divided with actually just at 1 high fence, just like this. But what I was saying was there's going to be like a gravel path in here, so I wouldn't use gravel or anything, but maybe cobblestone will look good. Just something like this. And each sort of animal pen, so that way you know it's somewhat divided. And maybe a little bit more civilized to have cobblestone. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Should I put cobblestone? Should I put gravel? I really don't think it matters, honestly. But yeah, let's get on to building the actual roof. So we're going to put 1 fence on top of these. And then on the front ones, we're just going to have 2, just like this. So it's a pretty simple roof. It's not hard to do really at all. We're going to put 1 layer of slabs just like this on this level. And then we're going to go up 1 block like this. And then we're like an actual whole block. And then we're going to be going up again, just like that, we're actually going to be going up like with a whole nother block like this, and then build it all the way over. And then you want to just sort of finish it out with a flat area right here, and you should end up with something pretty cool. It's a nice little roof. From the side you can sort of tell it's like an animal barn or something. And if you wanted to, let me see how this looks. You could just add maybe a layer right here. Yeah, I think it looks a little bit better, something like that. And then that means with that you can take trapdoors and put them up here as well. It kind of adds a little bit of texture to the build or something. I'm not really sure. But there's a bunch of little things you could do here. Like you could put trapdoors right here. What I did was I put trapdoors on the front of the pens, and I thought that they looked good. So let me grab a few spawn eggs here to just sort of demonstrate this pen. So I've got here some cows, so just put 2 cows in there for example. Got some sheep, and then a little bit of pigs. And I don't know, I think it looks pretty nice, and it definitely works pretty well. So we're gonna put some torches here just on the back walls, just so that the animals have a little bit of light. It's not absolutely like necessary to put torches, and then you can also put them out front like this, and it makes it look pretty cool. So last thing in the back here, we're gonna build a little bit of hay storage. The hay storage is really up to you how you wanna build it, but I'll show you how I did it. So we're just gonna need the same sort of materials here, trapdoors, we're gonna need slabs, and then obviously we're gonna need blocks of hay. This is definitely more of an aesthetic thing, although if you wanna build it, you can. So we're gonna put 1 log right here, and then we're gonna count 1, 2, 3. And I'm actually building this 1 block bigger because I thought the other one was a little small. And then 1, 2, 3 again. We're just gonna essentially make a 4x4, or a 5x5 out of logs like this, just sort of framing it. And then we're going to be building these all up to high, just like this. And then on the front, we're not gonna fill in the fence for now. We're just gonna fill in 2 high fence on the other sides, and then we're gonna put some fences on top like this, and then we're going to be taking trapdoors and just sort of placing them all along here. This is like the hardest part because you can kind of get lined up if you're in creative, but if you're in survival, it just takes a while, unfortunately. But it looks really cool when you use like trapdoors as a roof, because normally they're not used as roofs, and I don't know, I think it looks pretty cool. And we're gonna go 1 block under, just like that, and then we're gonna have the middle sort of dip down, make it seem like it's somewhat of like a wicker ceiling or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, like wicker baskets, like the thin like straw sort of stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm being crazy, but I thought that's what it's called, like wicker baskets. I don't know why. I should know that by now. As an adult, I feel like I should. We're gonna put some fence right here. And all I'm gonna do here really is just sort of fill this thing up with hay. And hey, you know, it really doesn't matter how you choose to fill it up, pun intended, but something like that could look pretty cool. And then maybe some more trapdoors here, just like that. So that's pretty much it for what's like on the outside of the build. We've got a mine, we've got a little bit of hay storage, and you could honestly, if you wanted to, just like, if you want to move the entrance, you just have to like do it like this, and you could just put the entrance right here, break out some hay, and then just sort of store it like back in here, something like that, and it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool, me personally. As far as where to put torches in here, you can put them like in the middle right here, although I would not recommend putting like an open flame next to hay, but this is Minecraft, so hey, we're just gonna do it anyways. Actually, I don't like the way those look up there, but whatever, we're just gonna put them back. I know it's annoying to watch. Can I get it? Yeah, there we go. So there's a little bit of gravel pathing in between all of this stuff. So the front of the build, I sort of just brought it out like this, just a couple blocks, just something like that, and I just sort of brought it over, and just sort of, I'll just do it, and then you guys can sort of, I'll just do it, and then you guys can figure it out. Greatest tutorialer? I don't think that's a word. But curving these 2 wide paths is definitely a little bit tricky. You have to like add a few blocks here and there, but it's not too bad. Just something like this, and then maybe you want to have like your path go into there, and then you definitely want to have your path be 3 wide over here, just to sort of denote. That's what I was saying earlier, that you have a little bit of an area. Now it's not fenced off, but if you wanted to like make your own little village, you could just sort of fence everything off. But I chose to not do that because I don't really think you need fence. You're not going to be out here during the night anyways, so that's just what I did. And then I chose to line the entirety of the mine just like this. And I know I broke that ladder, but we'll go ahead and just put it back real quick. Something like that. And then you don't really need a path, but I'm just going to put a little bit of a path over here just so that we can get around on the crane. And it makes it look nice to sort of have a path in your build. And then I chose to decorate it with a few flowers, so I guess I'll grab those real quick, and then we'll get to designing the actual inside of the base. But yeah, let me grab those materials real quick, the flowers and stuff. Now this is what I chose to do, but keep in mind guys, you could honestly do this however you want. You could add some trees or whatnot. I'm just going to be adding my favorite flower, a lot of them, and then we're just going to sort of go from there. But it's not too hard really. You just sort of randomly place flowers, and then I start off with the little 1 high flowers. You may have to go on a little flower expedition, you never know. But over here I'm just going to go ahead and sort of finish off what I'll do. But I try to have a variety of flowers in every area, although some places you just can't fit them, and that's okay. But yeah, just sort of plant some things randomly, and it makes things look nice, right? So you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing here or anything like that, but you know, if something's your favorite flower, add a bunch of it. I mean, it's Minecraft, so do whatever's gonna make you happy. And don't be afraid to have 2 flowers like next to each other like that, because in nature sometimes, I mean, flowers typically do grow in groups, so anything like that'll look nice. I don't know, just sort of go crazy with it, add flowers wherever you want, but it definitely makes it look kind of cool, I think, in my opinion, with just when there's like a bunch of flowers around, because it looks like it's like planted. I don't know, I thought it looked pretty nice. It makes it definitely feel a little bit more like your own village. And also, if you don't want to have quartz here, you could just use slabs made of stone bricks. So a lot of you are saying those materials are hard to get, and like I get that 100%, especially if you're in survival. A redstone torch would be the hardest thing if you did it like this, and it would definitely add a little bit more continuity to the crane. And then what I was saying is you could just use like spruce fence or something, or even dark oak fence if you have access to it, and it's gonna look just fine, I promise. So you could do that and make your crane a little bit more survival friendly. All right, but that's it for the outside of the build. Let's actually get to the inside. If you wanted a little bit of chest storage for your animal pens, I guess I could design something real small. There's just a little nice area. Where's a little nice area to store stuff? Like right here. So let's just break out this. Let's just have a, let's just add like a couple of blocks of fence. Not fence. We're just gonna add 3 high logs. I don't know why, guys. I can't speak today. Normally I do tutorials and they're not this sloppy. This isn't even that sloppy. But the way I'm speaking, I do apologize, just because I just woke up and I wanted to get this done, but at the same time, I didn't want to like wait and like, I don't know, it's not that I didn't want to wait, but I like to get things done when I first wake up, and sometimes I can't. But yeah, you could do something like that and then take some item frames, and then for instance, you could store let me just grab some stuff. So like you could put wheat in here, like all your farm, but you could store your farm stuff in there. You could have wheat right there. You could have like seeds and this one, and then maybe you have, what else would you need? We have wheat seeds, maybe you want to store some cobblestone out here, I don't know, but you can sort of go crazy with it, have a little bit of a chest storage thing out here, pretty cool. Let's come to the inside of the build and let's start actually building this. So I chose to use stone brick for the inside flooring material. Let me grab a torch. Ooh, could I just punch the wall and grab the torch? You bet I can. Alright, so I'm gonna put some torches. There's tons of places to put them, but for now I'm just gonna put them right here, and then probably in the corners right here. But I know we'll end up adding a bunch of stuff in here, so don't worry. There is gonna be an underground portion to this build, and I need to find a spot for the ladder, but before I do that, I should definitely design like the top area. So I'm gonna take some beds here, and notice I said beds because if you're in a village, you probably want to have more than one person like in your actual house. So we'll do something like that. As far as this goes, the window in the middle, you might just want to do it like that, guys. I think it's going to be more harm done if you don't, just because you can't put stuff here. We'll put a crafting table in the middle of them, and then we'll put a pot with a blue orchid on top of that. Just something pretty simple. Oh, I'm so funny. I grabbed the pot, and I'm like, oh yeah, grab the blue orchid, and I remove the pot. It's like, what are you thinking, Neo? And then this is the perfect spot for a painting, just right here. Hopefully it doesn't make it... Okay, here. So you gotta put 2 blocks here, and then you can put it down. Cool. Okay, and then maybe even on top of that, you want to take an item frame, and I don't know about this, but you could actually put it up there, and then you could take a map, and if you just open it like this and sort of mark the area around you, and then you could just sort of put a map there. I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool. And then up here, let's take some trap doors and just sort of texture the inside of the build. Let's put trap doors right here. We don't need, well, we could put one right there too, actually. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, cool. So instead of have chest storage in the actual build, up here there's not a whole lot of like space for chest storage. I'm gonna actually end up breaking that, and we're just going to line this up with some trapdoors like this. Hopefully those will, oh no, those do not close the right way. Just some trapdoors like this. Now it kind of blocks your doorway, like in a way a little bit, but it's really not that big of a deal. I would take some furnaces and just sort of put them right here, and then you can put your torch. You can just put your torch right there. It's not gonna matter. And then over here in the corner, we have a little bit of an area. So let's just put a stair here, and then throw a pot and a blue orchid in it as well. Can you put wheat in a pot? I really don't think you can. No, but you can put the blue orchid, and it looks nice. And you could you could do the same thing over here. Although on this side, I'm just going to put an ender chest, and then on this side, I'm going to put an anvil. And then to finish off the inside, just going to grab some carpet here and just sort of randomly place it. That's something I like to do in my builds, guys. I just sort of randomly place carpet, and I think it looks a little bit better when it's like that. I'm not really sure why. That's just sort of my opinion. Someone showed me that a long time ago, years ago now. That's crazy to think. But I don't know. I think it looks pretty neat. Back here on the wall, I guess this is where we're going to do our ladder. So just sort of break out this material and then just bring that cobblestone down 2 blocks. Take your ladder And then let's start actually getting into the meat of the build when we get down here. So we're gonna dig it down 1, 2, 3 blocks. You wanna have a 3-block space. We're gonna try to dig out the same sized area that the actual house is. So it's a 3 wide area just like this. And then we're just gonna dig it out. It doesn't really matter how many blocks back, and I think it's a little wider than 3. It definitely is wider than 3. It's gonna be 4, like this. There we go. So something like that is pretty cool. And then we'll just break it out until we stop seeing the stone brick, and that's how you know you're at the edge of the house. I think it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be that block right there. Let me grab the torches back, and then we'll get to design the actual underground portion. That's my favorite part of the builds, guys, is when I add underground stuff, because I always think it looks the prettiest. But we're gonna be putting torches in the corners along with these oak log supports, just like this. So I know it's offset a little bit, that ladder, and that may bother you, but not much you could do to fix it unless you want to have like 2 ladders here, which you could. It really doesn't matter. You could also put a trap door there, but I'm just gonna have it just go straight down. I'm gonna be using cobblestone for the walls in here, so let me go ahead and just fill those in. There's not too much to fill in, but we're gonna do cobblestone for the walls. We're going to be using oak wood for the floors, and then the ceilings are already done, so we don't need to worry about those. Those are gonna be stone brick. So nice little material choice there, nice contrast and everything. Let me just see if I can fill this in super quick. So I said I'd have chest storage, so we definitely need a little bit of that under here. These blocks right here we can't really break out, but these right here, can we break those out? No, those are where the actual doors are, so we may not want to do that. We may not want to break that block specifically, but I promise we'll find a spot for the chests. We will. I always do. Maybe you want to have another layer under here. It really doesn't matter how big your base is, but what I'm trying to say is that you can make this as like big or as small as you want. I'm gonna do the same sort of thing here with just having like a 3 high ceiling, and I'm just gonna break out this exact same area that I broke out above, but I'm just gonna do it a layer down. So we're gonna have like a 2-story basement sort of deal going on here. So you want to make sure that it's like the same, and how you know is that when you sort of break it out, you'll see that oak wood up top, and when you're breaking and then you cease to see the oak wood, you know that's the corner, so you should just stop. And yeah, it's pretty easy to make a bunch of these rooms. You could layer as many of these as you really want. I'm gonna break, oh, see, that's actually not the edge. The edge is, oh, the reason I did that is because that's where the oak log is. So let's just go ahead and put that back, and then just break out the same area. So if you want the dimensions of this room, go back to the beginning of the video, because the house, like the size of the inside is going to be the dimensions. I guess I can give them to you. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 1, 2, 3, 4. So 7 by 7 by 4, something like that. And then we're just going to be bringing that down, and then we'll go ahead and just sort of bring down this cobblestone here as well, and then put the ladder. Cool. So now we've got 2 floors in this build. I don't want to leave that broken. If you wanted to, you could put slabs instead of full blocks, but since we already have such a big, like, we already have like a 3 high ceiling, I'm not going to worry about it too much. But I'm just going to be putting these blocks in here. And then let's go ahead and take some cobblestone and fill in the blocks in between for the walls, just with cobblestone, so the same as the top layer. So the reason I did this and came down another one, this was not planned. Actually, the entire inside of the build wasn't planned, but this leaves a lot of room for chests, right? So let's grab some stairs made of cobblestone. Let's grab the actual chest block, and then we're just gonna break out this entire wall right here. So how'd you put all that cobblestone there for nothing? For absolutely nothing. I'm just kidding. But look, we're gonna put these right side upstairs right here. You won't even be able to see them from above, don't worry. So right side upstairs, and then you're gonna have to take more cobblestone, unfortunately, and you want to line this entire area back here. This is gonna be where our chests go, and then you want to do the same thing on this wall right here. So just put the cobblestone on the back. Oh yeah, just like that. And then you can put oak wood there, but I'm lazy, I'm just gonna put cobblestone. And then you can go ahead and just fill in your chests, and you should have a ton of chest storage here. Oh, I want to make these connect, yeah, like that. Cool. So maybe build them like this, and then add the ones in the middle. I'm still getting used to the whole having chests like in a weird shape. And then also, guys, you could do the same thing right here. There's tons of space for chest storage, guys, I promise. Tons and tons and tons. You can make so much storage in the build, like it's insane. You could even put chests in like the middle of this floor. You could put them in the floor if you wanted to. I'm not really sure if I would go that far, but I don't know, something like that. That should be enough chest storage for your survival compound. If it's not, add another layer and repeat this exact same thing, rinse and repeat. But under here, I wanted to have an enchantment table, so I'm going to grab some books. I'm going to grab an actual enchantment table, and then all I'm going to do here is just sort of place them where I know that they're like supposed to be. So if we want the enchantment table to be right here, for instance, we're going to be placing the bookshelves in a pattern like this. You want to just make sure that they're 1 block away, something like that, just 1 block away from the actual thing is what I mean. And then let's go ahead and verify it's a full 30. If not, we'll add a few more bookshelves, but we'll definitely be able to achieve that. Yeah, it's a full 30. Let's check it now. Full 30. Let's check it now. Yeah, so we just need 1 block there. And then I know we have an anvil up top, but you can definitely add another anvil in here. Oh, I already had it in the inventory, no problem. Just something like that. You could also take some trapdoors here, or better yet, take a stair, and make sure it's not the material of the wall. Is, you know, yeah, we'll do a stair made of something like that, and then we'll take a pot. We'll put that on top, and then up here I'm just gonna do the same sort of thing. I'm gonna put some pots, and then we're just gonna fill all those in with just, you know what, we're just gonna do all cactus because why not. And then we'll take a painting and then sort of put that right here, and should end up with something pretty cool. Awesome. So we got a little enchantment area there. Right here on these blocks, I'm gonna go ahead and break all these out. I'm gonna take some glowstone, I'm gonna put it on top. Now if you don't have access to glowstone, don't worry about it, don't fret, you don't have to use glowstone. It's completely unnecessary, just don't break those blocks out. Take some soul sand, put it under there. Go ahead and just line this area up on the back with the wall material, and then plant some netherwort, and then we'll have a little bit of a netherwort growery for your potion brewing and whatnot. Cool. And then we can put the cauldron just right here, and you can just fill it with water, and then put a tripwire hook if you want to craft one. If not, I understand, but I think they're pretty simple to craft actually, so if you wanted to, it's not like too resource intensive. You could put stairs right here, just upside down stairs, just like that, and then you might have to break a few things here, but you can also fit a chest back here if you wanted to store like your brewing stuff. I know there's barrels now in the new update, but I don't have that unfortunately yet. I'm waiting for shaders to get updated for it, but I will have it soon enough, I promise. And then we'll go ahead and just put a slab here in the middle, and then we're going to put our actual brewing stands here. So we're just going to break the cactus, and then we're going to take our brewing stands and just put them right here. Now if you wanted to, yeah, you can access the block behind here, so you could put, well, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to put the brewing stands right here, and then we're going to call this build done, because there's not a whole lot else you can add aside from maybe some carpet, but don't put it in the enchantment table area. In this like on these blocks right here, do not put carpet because it blocks the books somehow. I'm still not entirely sure of why that happens, but it does for some reason. Even this late into the game's lifetime, little bugs like that have never been changed. I guess technically they occupy the space, and it sort of messes with the whole algorithm of how it's determining how many bookshelves there are, but yeah, whatever. Let me see if I can think of any other little tiny details to add, but if not, I think this might be the end of the video. I won't leave, but I'll do my outro, but just give me a second. Alright guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this ultimate survival mega base compound, be sure to leave a like down below and leave a comment. I actually reply to every single comment on my channel, so if you leave me a comment, I am bound to reply at some point. Sometimes I'm not on my phone, which is what I use to reply, but if I am, I will be replying to every single comment, but yeah, eventually I'll get around to them. If you're curious about my shader pack, texture pack, music, any of that fancy stuff is all going to be down in the description below. Got links to it all. Also have links to my other videos if you're curious about the other things I do on my channel. Before you subscribe, you can click around on there and see if you find anything else you like, but yeah, if you want to subscribe and see more videos like this and much more, be sure to do so. You'll be the first to be notified when I upload, and see, like, that's a little detail I would change. I think that looks a lot better. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys genuinely enjoyed this video. If you did not, I ask you to honestly leave me a dislike, but let me know in the comments why you disliked it, so that I can further improve my content to better cater to what you guys like, because after all, I wouldn't have a channel without you guys. You guys are totally awesome. Be sure to leave me a comment and I'll reply. But yeah, thank you guys for watching a final time, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.